It all started with the school's queen, Hayashi Megumi, a beautiful and strong-willed girl who nobody can ever soften up. Yeah, she is the kind of girl who'd order an iced caramel macchiato or something. However, things changed when Yamamoto, our MC, found out a secret of the once-called queen while working at a convenience store. It was then that Hayashi's life turned sideways. Before we get to see the terrible secret of Hayashi, a few hours earlier that day, MC was cleaning his CR, feeling all satisfied, seeing everything tidy and shiny. MC, a first-year university student with a potential OCD, lives alone in an apartment. Cleaning is his best therapy, and he believes that cleaning has its rewards for effort, unlike people who can be irrational and unfair, as illustrated by Hayashi. He was so caught up in cleaning that he forgot he had a late-night shift at a nearby convenience store. They hardly get customers at night, which bores him, but hey, at least the pay is good. A few minutes later, a customer came in, and for some reason that customer was familiar with MC. As he looked up, he was surprised to see a very familiar yet unexpected face. It was Hayashi, wearing casual clothes, but more importantly, who lives in Tokyo. MC was visibly surprised but kept it calm. The two exchanged small conversations before MC could help her with her groceries. Deep inside, he can't believe that this girl even talked to him because there's no way stuff like this would happen in high school. Hayashi may look different today, but she's changed significantly since before. He even remembers when she dropped an eraser and MC politely gave it to her, and yet he got a scary judgy face in return and no thank you. Her attitude is cliché for a queen bee, as well as her pretty face and circle of friends. With a girl like that, it's a normal occurrence for men to confess their feelings towards her, and all of them will always get rejected, just like the time when MC witnessed a guy get rejected despite having all the main character traits. And yet Hayashi just shooed him away like he doesn't exist in her life, ever. Now that same rude queen was in front of Hayashi at a counter with a bruise on her wrist. Naturally, MC got worried, asking what happened. One would prefer to lie, but Hayashi admitted that she got hit by her boyfriend. MC got a little too curious and asked questions that made Hayashi annoyed. She turned and went her way, as MC felt bad for pissing her off. However, it got him thinking, why would she tell him in the first place? Did the queen show him, a mere person, her weakness? Questions flooded his thoughts, and MC screamed her name, offering her a place to stay for the night. Of course, Hayashi wasn't that easy to get. She was skeptical at first, but after a few assurances from MC, she somehow realized that she needed it too, and so she waited for his shift to end before they went to MC's place together. It feels surreal for MC that the queen is in his room, but he can't leave her with her boyfriend. As the two sat down with the refreshments prepared by MC, Hayashi explained that her boyfriend doesn't usually hit her, only when work goes badly or something. Hearing her say that made MC remind himself how rude she was back then, but people change, I guess. If it's true that Hayashi was giving her boyfriend space, hoping it was just a bad day, then MC shouldn't have offered her a stay, but she might be sugarcoating it. But now she's there, MC offered her clothes, a towel, and his shower for her to get comfortable. Although it evoked feelings in him for many things, he remains respectful towards her. A few minutes later, Hayashi came out of the shower with fresh clothes, and that's when the bruises all over her body got more visible. Some bruises appear old, which is more concerning. However, MC knows that he can't do anything to make her leave him immediately, but all he can do is point out the wrongdoings of her boyfriend and hope that Hayashi will realize how bad her situation is. However, she looked rather pissed, but she knows all of those, and yet she stayed. It would be a matter of time before she found the courage to fight it. Hayashi might have been tired already, so she dropped onto MC's bed while he slept on the floor. There's no way he could sleep with her on the loose, and Hayashi wasn't making it easy either. She suddenly offered and said that they should do it, and feeling her hug on his back made him blush. She was a little too comfortable hugging him when she got a boyfriend herself. She even asked if MC was still a virgin or not, and of course he still is, but he gotta be cool and say that he isn't. He tried to grip her wrist to take her off hugging him, but felt that she was shaking. Hayashi noticed and explained that her boyfriend wasn't always like that. However, after living together, things changed, and he'd hit her whenever his mood dipped, even outside work. He made her feel little and a burden, and MC took pity on her. You've been through a lot. Those small sentences made Hayashi feel seen and comforted, and with that they started living together. The next morning, MC woke up confused as to why he was on the floor, but seeing the bruises reminded him that he impulsively yet rationally adopted the former high school queen. Watching her peacefully sleep made him realize that she had changed. While she was asleep, MC cooked them both breakfast. A few minutes later, Hayashi woke up with a sore body, smelling the delicious food MC had prepared. Afterwards they were eating together and Hayashi's face lit up as the delicious food hit her mouth. Meanwhile, MC got used to using his cell phone while eating, a habit from living alone for so long. Still, Hayashi was thankful for the food. Hayashi got up, offering to wash the dishes as a repayment for the food and shelter. But MC thinks it's unnecessary. However, he can't stop her from doing so, and all she asked for was a hair tie. He only had rubber bands, which hurt, so she used plastic strings instead. After washing the dishes, they gather at the table to talk about what's next. In the end, it's all up to Hayashi, but she's scared she'd make the wrong choice. But she got MC, who was ready to talk like he was her lawyer and a therapist. Try to see your situation objectively, then decide what you want. It was MC's point. Still, the uncertainty makes Hayashi scared. For her, not regretting such a big decision is impossible, but MC says otherwise. She asks for a reason, an assurance, and all MC could give was, "That's why I'm here, isn't it?" While posing like a politician, it makes him sound dependable, but he quickly retracted and said that he's being selfish and trying to push his opinions onto her. That made Hayashi smile, weirdly, because he's always so roundabout. Whatever that means. Anyway, MC wanted a summary of how she ended up with that guy, so she did a story time. She started by telling him the things that happened when she came to Tokyo. Hayashi tried to joke sometimes, but her story was far from amusing. Every time she finishes saying the bad things, she'll try to sprinkle something good that he does, like apologizing after hitting her. However, that kind of behavior is common in domestic violence because it follows a cycle. Guy is angry, regrets, and feels bad, then apologizes but gets irritated and hits the girl. Simple. Additionally, MC asked if she had told anyone else about this, but apparently she doesn't have a phone. He said, "I didn't need it since I had him," Hayashi said. In other words, he broke it and isolated Hayashi from her friends and family. That seals off MC's mind. No matter what it takes, Hayashi has to cut him off, and he's willing to do anything, even if she ends up hating him. After a while, Hayashi made up her mind. Despite her boyfriend being sweet occasionally, she decided to break up with him, as if the realization hits her that she was just used to feed his possessiveness. Although it's an easy thing to say, it's very hard to do. There's a chance her boyfriend won't accept the breakup, and he'll retaliate. So MC proposed going to the hospital and to the police. It's the first time seeing an MC not being dumb and actually going to the police station to report, even though the legal process involves how to legally press charges against his boyfriend. By then, he would be put under the police's watch and have a record, so he can't go near her. Hayashi feels like they don't have to go that far, but the bruises and wounds he left on her were enough to say that he deserves years in jail. Still, MC can't believe that after all that, Hayashi was hesitant to get the police involved. For her, leaving someone and filing charges are two different things, so MC respects her decision of not going to the police station. However, he offered his house for her shelter, which made Hayashi think that it's something else that he's after. MC got confused, so now he had to point out that she can't live with him or else he'd go manic again. To be safe, it would be best if she didn't leave the apartment for a while. But that's not all. MC got another condition, even if she doesn't like it. By the way he said it, Hayashi thinks that he's asking for her body, and the way the tension got strong, she low-key anticipated this. Shockingly, she agreed, even without hearing him first. Still, she needs clarification. In the end, that's not MC's condition, but you can't blame her for feeling objectified all the time. Anyway, all MC wants is for her to go to the hospital to get her bruises checked. For some reason, the girl looked a little disappointed. I think he is too. Moving on, the two went to the hospital and got Hayashi's medical report. She had full body bruising and a torn ligament in the wrist. Afterwards, the two walked silently, while MC was deep in his thoughts as he recalled how Hayashi dodged the doctor's questions. Aside from that, MC also notices that Hayashi's clothes look hot, and I mean literally, so they decided to go shopping for clothes so her mind would also get diverted to something else. Hayashi is low on cash, but that's not a problem for our sugar daddy MC, who could actually provide, unlike your dad. With that, the two went shopping for her clothes and undies, all while accompanied by MC. The next morning came, and MC woke up with a sore body from sleeping on the floor. It was the morning he decided to buy a futon. Anyway, MC got to prepare for his morning class, and he started by preparing breakfast while she slept peacefully. He even left without letting her, which was weird because he skipped his morning cleaning. As the day ended, MC was walking home with the things he needed, like the futon, so he could sleep better tonight. As he walked in the door, he noticed the smell of food. Hayashi was cooking in his kitchen, looking like a housewife, while MC patted himself on the back for getting the hair tie. MC told her that she doesn't have to make that much effort and just wait for him to come back. but Hayashi said that since she's staying there, cooking is the least she could do. With that, MC just let her do her thing, and hamburger steak will be their dinner. After the dinner was prepared, the two sat down. MC looked at the food and asked, "Did I even buy ground beef?" He ignored it for now, and they ate in silence. Afterwards, MC offered to do the dishes, but Hayashi took everything and insisted on doing it instead. There was a small silence before MC firmly asked if she had gone out today. He slightly regretted his tone because he sounded like a possessive dude. Hayashi didn't answer his question, so he shrugged it off and said that it's up to her if she'll take his advice of not going out for her own safety or whatever. It somewhat triggered Hayashi, and she snapped out, but MC kept his calm. Hayashi might have felt bad, so she flopped beside him and apologized, like she always does with her boyfriend. However, MC also felt bad, so he apologized. Hayashi stopped by the supermarket earlier and used what little she had left from her boyfriend. She thought MC would get mad, which made MC confused, but Hayashi was traumatized enough to think that way. Her boyfriend would get mad at her about everything. Her every move has to be monitored by him, but at the same time, he'd get annoyed if Hayashi asked her about something little. Her boyfriend is a psycho, and the only time he'd shut up is when he eats. That's the only peaceful time she ever had. That's why she cooked him dinner, thinking it would be like her boyfriend. But MC's concern is if she gets caught after going missing for days. However, Hayashi wants to get a part-time job. MC still thinks it's a bad idea, so he asked if it's urgent for her to get a job. To put it simply, Hayashi just doesn't want to be a burden to MC. Besides, if she gets caught, she already accepts whatever would happen to her. And that's like saying she'll commit seppuku. MC doesn't like the sound of that. It's like hearing the queen giving up on life. MC still doesn't get it. There's a way where she'll be protected and avoid risk, but she wants to do the opposite. It's basically self-harm, so it begs the question, is she really doing all that for MC? He can't believe that the self-confident, rude girl from high school was abused physically, mentally, and emotionally. Not just with violence, but manipulation and power trips, which made the queen sound helpless. It's only been 4 months since they graduated and 3 months since university started. She met her boyfriend recently and started living with him. In just a short span of time, she became this, what the hell has he done to her? After some deep thinking, MC opened her online bank account and showed her the 7-digit amount of money in his account that she had saved up from high school. He even showed her his household budget app and the money from his scholarship and part-time jobs. His rent is covered by his parents, so basically he has tons of money to spare. Still, it's his hard-earned money that should be spent on himself, but for now, he'll spend it on her. Hayashi argued that there's no reason for him to spend money on her, but MC thinks otherwise. Hayashi wanted to believe that he was lying, but he wasn't. She feels devastated as if she is a speck of dust that lies around in MC's apartment, being useless because she doesn't have anything left. MC already expected seeing this kind of reaction, and just then the will to work part-time wasn't just so she could pay her debt, but to regain her dignity. So MC countered by saying that there's a reason why he wants her there. For that, he explained that school and work are piling up, and he can't keep up with all the cleaning. Hayashi thinks it's a little too easy, but MC made it clear that he is a man of precision who, if he sees a little dust, will clean the whole room. With his schedule being hectic, he doesn't have time to clean, so he's giving this job to Hayashi. She was dumbfounded by how autistic this man can be. It's a dumb reason for him to keep her, but it'll work. Besides, her hamburger was great. That shines something on Hayashi, making her soften a little. It became clear that MC has the will and wants to have her there, so the least she could do is pack him a bento when he gets to class. It's one way to cut down on food costs because it's cheaper than the cafeteria. I want to know what you like, food-wise I mean, Hayashi said. Hearing her say that while looking beautifully, Bruce stirred something in his chest. Unexpectedly, the next day MC woke up feeling refreshed because his body didn't hurt anymore, thanks to the futon. It's still 4:30 in the morning, and waking Hayashi would be rude. Then this guy got the urge to clean, so he picked the bathroom so it doesn't make a noise when he cleans. A few hours later, Hayashi woke up and found him up and going, scrubbing the bathroom tiles. She was surprised that he's a morning person who gets up early just to clean. He wasn't joking when he said he's precise. Well, MC was an early bird back in high school, so it wouldn't be surprising. He's just weird that way. Anyway, Hayashi decided to make breakfast while MC was forced to watch the morning news like an old dad. After breakfast, he carried his plate to the sink because he didn't want Hayashi to push herself too much, but she got mad, and girls get complicated to understand sometimes. Afterwards, MC asked Hayashi to give him the bathroom for a second because he'll get a chance, but Hayashi doesn't really mind, which makes sense since she's living with the guy for a while and must have gotten used to seeing men undressed. MC went to the bathroom and put his shirt in the washing machine when he noticed a garment that wasn't his. Suddenly the door slammed open, telling him that his lunch was ready. MC jerked up and was surprised, so he immediately turned around and got dressed. Hayashi thinks that MC might not want to be seen naked, but if it were her, she wouldn't have any problem at all. It was turning into a weird competition over who feels comfortable being seen that way, so MC decided to head out. Before he could, Hayashi pointed out that she added kimpirigobo, a pork side dish. He thanked her before sighing loudly, and since that caught Hayashi's attention, she asked what the problem was. He explained that he got work afterwards, and she was surprised to see him complaining, and yet he's still eager to dread on it just to help her, and that touched her heart. Besides, her cooking is great for him to let her go. As he was on his way to school, MC was thinking how bad things could get if they dragged this out for a long time. Time won't fix Hayashi's problem. If he runs into her again, he'd be more violent than ever. And if they wait long to report it to the police, they might question why they didn't come sooner. Reporting it now is still the best option, but MC already messed up by agreeing to Hayashi not to get the police involved. After a few minutes of transportation, he got to school and noticed the girls talking. One of them was Kasahara Akari, Hayashi's best friend. She's better suited to talk to Hayashi than he is, but the possibility of her being in contact with Hayashi's boyfriend is likely, so he can't just carelessly bring it up. MC can't do much but stare at her, even with the urge to ask an old classmate. But back then, Kasahara was part of the top-tier clique, and was more popular with the boys than Hayashi. Meanwhile, despite his looks, MC actually gets in trouble with girls as well. He made them cry more times than he can count, as well as being cursed out. So there's no way a guy like him can have a normal conversation with Kasahara. Accepting that there's no way that would work, he had to come up with a new plan. During lunchtime, MC went to the cafeteria to sit down at a lonely table as usual. He opened his bento and was surprised to see that Hayashi had made his bento creative. She even made little octopus sausages. Apart from that, the food was good as always. In the end, MC wasn't able to come up with a new plan. As the day ended and MC did everything from school to work, he went back and saw Hayashi doing chores. She was still about to warm up with dinner, so she suggested that he take a bath first. MC was surprised that everything was already prepared for him. Even the water's temperature was just right. And when he got out, the food was already ready and prepared, and it looked really good. He felt like he was spoiled. Maybe this guy wasn't used to receiving such things from his parents, so it doesn't feel right to be spoiled that way. So he slightly debated with Hayashi that she should relax more because it isn't healing the reason she's there in the first place. Hayashi replied that it's just the way she is back at her old place. Besides, she should be the one who's surprised because even though MC told her not to clean up, she felt like cleaning up. However, the place was spotless to a freakish level, which sounds about right for MC. So MC said that she should relax more while she's there, but Hayashi is tired of his pointless banter about her doing less work. It was supposed not to be that way, but MC stood his ground on wanting her to take care of herself better. If she feels like eating, she should eat first and not wait for him. Hayashi doesn't want that though, because that would mean she would end up watching him eat and she'll get hungry again. But that's not the main reason. In fact, she's bored, and doing chores is her way out of boredom. It makes sense because she doesn't have a phone. So MC grabbed his old unused tablet and gave it to Hayashi, who was gleaming with curiosity and hype. MC wants her to entertain herself as well and not just do chores, which is the other way around for moms. Anyway, Hayashi was grateful to have the freedom to use a gadget again, and it made MC blush. After doing the dishes, Hayashi went to bed and played with the tablet while MC was watching TV. However, she didn't last long with the tablet and gave it back to MC for just 10 minutes because she found something. He was surprised why she gave it back, but looking at it, his browser bookmarks were still there. And damn, this dude is either dried up or just kept going with that 2-hour-long video. This is why you don't just easily give up your old gadgets, chat. Get that history erased like erasing everything from your ex. Anyway, Hayashi was flushed to see that MC had a libido after all. He didn't expect to be exposed that way, and now he's overheating from embarrassment. It's their 4th morning living together, and it's just today that MC found out that filth on the frame of his window. He was so hyped that he screamed and accidentally woke Hayashi up. He felt bad, but Hayashi was still half asleep when he asked MC what happened. "I was just cleaning," MC replied, as if that's enough explanation. So he was hyped that the grime was coming off so easily like magic, and he sounded like his load was about to finish, which is why he shouted. It makes sense to Hayashi now. When you're excited, you tend to scream, right? MC didn't react immediately because that sounded suggestive than it should have. Man didn't get to have his own time in the bathroom for a while now. Meanwhile, Hayashi felt bad for oversleeping. She stayed up late with the tablet, so she rushed to make breakfast. It's great to hear that she had a good time with the tablet and that she lost track of time. MC asked what she was watching. At first, Hayashi said that it's just videos, but since MC asked more about it, she was so happy to show it to her. It was about a couple that went to a fancy restaurant for their anniversary, and even though they followed the dress codes, they were not allowed in, so they went to their usual spot. Turns out the owner of the diner used to be the head chef at that fancy place, and now the chef scolded the staff and got him fired. Dumb man, videos. Afterwards, Hayashi wanted to know what MC thinks of the video, but in his opinion he doesn't like those kinds of plots. Using someone else's influence to punish someone just feels mean-spirited. He thinks that complaining and then someone else conveniently steps in to help, while the main character has no responsibility, sounds lazy and cheap. Seeing Hayashi's history being full of it too makes him assume stuff. Meanwhile, Hayashi was still waiting for his thoughts, asking which part of the video was entertaining for him. Her eyes are full of stars while MC doesn't know what to say. She was slightly disappointed to see that maybe MC didn't like it, so MC came up with a lie that he thinks the waiter is dumb for not reading the room. Hayashi bought it, so MC took it as an opportunity to tell her to get enough sleep. After preparing, MC was on his way out, where he told Hayashi that he doesn't have work later, so he'll be home soon. As usual, while he walked to class, he was deep in thought. Maybe deep down, Hayashi wants to punish her ex, which is why she's obsessed with those videos, so maybe he can convince her to go to the police again. However, MC doesn't want her to be like those doe-man-a characters, and should step up for herself instead. Aside from that, MC was curious where her ex is now since it's been 4 days since she left. There's no way he's not looking for her, so the sooner this is resolved the better. With that, he made it a mission to ask Kasahara. However, he was looking everywhere for her, but there was no sign, so he ended the day with not much progress. As he was on the way back home, he noticed that the lights were off. It made him overthink that maybe Hayashi's ex might have seen her the other day and got followed, so he immediately ran up to his apartment. MC was bracing himself for what could be waiting for him. Turns out she was actually sleeping, even snoring. Instead of getting mad, he was relieved. He noticed that the laundry was still hanging outside, so he decided to go get it himself. By then, Hayashi was surprised that he was already home and doing the chores. She got up too fast that she tripped. Part of her was still sleepy, but she had to do her chores. She apologized for not doing her job. Hayashi looked up to MC, looking terrified, as if she were scared she might get hit again. Although it's not a big deal for MC, mistakes can be avoided. He asked Hayashi why she didn't get the chores done. She replied truthfully and said that she stayed up late and ended up sleeping all day, all because of the tablet. The solution is simple: just stop staying up late from now on. Hayashi was confused, so MC said that if there's a problem, just fix it. No need to blame herself because that would get her nowhere. Hayashi asked if he's mad, but he doesn't have a reason to get mad over chores. He can sense her feeling bad, so he told her some advice. No one dies from messing up. Nobody dies because she skipped her chores today, so Hayashi doesn't have to beat herself up over it. Getting to talk about her lack instead of talking with his fist made Hayashi think that he's way too mature to the point that it's creepy, and that would actually get him mad now. Anyway, Hayashi then went to cooking, mumbling to herself that this is what it might really be like to live with someone you love. MC didn't catch on to that, and Hayashi didn't say it twice. Instead, she said that she should have talked to him more in high school. MC felt the same thing, and it sounds like a semi-confession, if you get what I mean. If they had talked more in high school, would it have been a little better? Well, no need to dwell on regrets now. One mistake doesn't mean it's all over. Besides, they got the time to start over again. With that, they get to live together, and MC gets to taste her good meal. The next day, the 5th day of living together, MC noticed how Hayashi had changed a lot. She was softer and calmer than before, so MC was hopeful that she might listen to his suggestion again. That day, it was a busy one in school, and the cafeteria was packed with people. He can't find a vacant seat, but that was quickly solved when Kasahara grabbed him and offered him the vacant seat next to her. "I smell a beachy air." Kasahara stood up to give way to the MC, but he politely declined, saying a seat would open up soon. He doesn't want to be rude, and since he's been looking for her, he accepted the offer and sat beside her. Kasahara's conversation starter was quite forward, asking him if he was avoiding her. MC replied that he doesn't have a reason to talk to her because he doesn't approach people without a reason. "That's just the way he is," he said. "Besides, if that's her concern, shouldn't she be talking to him then?" Kasahara then said that she just did. Now, so fair enough. Anyway, MC thanked her for the seat, but it's not a problem for Kasahara because she's ready to help him anytime. Her words are easily misread, or maybe that's just the way she is. Since they're talking, MC asked what she wanted from him. Kasahara was quiet at first, but then she mentioned Hayashi. Kasahara remembers them being close, for being obnoxiously close, always arguing. She then mentioned that Hayashi moved to Tokyo too, and MC replied yeah. She then asked if she had seen Hayashi recently. MC fell silent, wondering why Kasahara would suddenly ask him about it. There are tons of possibilities for it, and one of them could be that Hayashi's ex is asking her to look for her. So MC decided not to talk about Hayashi carelessly. MC fell silent for a while now, but before he could reply, Iri, a friend of Kasahara, arrived at the table. She asked her who the guy was, so she teasingly said it's her boyfriend. That's when Iri remembered MC from their French class, the one who always aces the quizzes. She then got too close to MC, asking him to tutor him later while squishing his arm. She is desperate that way, huh? Before MC could reply, Kasahara declined on behalf of MC because he had a class during third period. It's weird how she knew about it, and it's honestly concerning. Afterwards, MC took out his bento and they praised how homey it is. Well, he can't say that Hayashi made it for him because things could get worse, and yes, a small mistake could kill someone this time. So, he decided to ask Hayashi directly if Kasahara is involved with her previous relationship. The moment he went home, Hayashi was seen preparing their food. However, her mood and emotion changed in a snap, asking if he had met a girl today. MC was confused at first, but since he did, he couldn't hide it anymore. He replied truthfully, and that made Hayashi mad. As for MC, he was confused why she was acting that way when it's not like they're dating or anything. That was the mistake he made. And that small sentence got Hayashi really mad, so she took off her apron. Why was she even there when she's just a stranger to him? So he yelled at him that whoever he picks should be smarter, sweeter, and everything that she isn't. MC tried to explain, but Hayashi's feelings were a little too intense, and he was already crying. She let her emotions get the best of her, and she stormed out of the apartment. Hayashi was panting from crying and running, but her pace slowed down eventually. She was hopeless, not knowing what to do next. She was lost. She felt bad for acting that way just because the citrus perfume pissed him off so much. Hayashi beat herself up with bad words for running away from the only thing that gave her peace since coming to Tokyo. She doesn't want Yamamoto to hate her, but after what she did, she knew she had pissed him off. But now she's alone, outside, helpless. Just then, a familiar figure stepped in behind her, and it was her ex and MC's fears, Seiji Utsumi. That triggered her, already feeling the ache in her skin. Seiji smiled sinisterly, asking where she had been all this time. To give us background, her relationship started with him when a club friend invited her to a group mixer. All the guys were bankers from top financial firms, and the girls who wanted to marry a rich man lit up like slot machines. As for her, she doesn't really care about those things and was there to meet some friends. They all introduced themselves, and Seiji was first up to introduce himself. As Hayashi was listening, her first impression of him was calm, well-mannered, and the kind of guy who seemed harmless, or so she thought. Meanwhile, Hayashi was juggling part-time jobs. Her dad said he's willing to pay tuition, but not a cent if she moves to Tokyo. Well, she moved to Tokyo just so she could get away from him. With that, she got no money from her parents, and even though she got away from his grip, money was the problem. So dating Seiji felt new and fresh. They went on trips away from the city, where he asked Hayashi to move in with him. By agreeing, it seems like she's a gold digger, and she won't deny it. It's hard to survive in this day and age. However, it backfired on her the moment she saw his real colors. He always belittles her for not knowing how to cook food. He always hurt her, but he apologized right after. It still doesn't cover the bruises he scarred her with. It became a little too much for her to bear, because even though she escaped her father's grip, she became more of a prisoner in another man's arms. That's when she saw Yamamoto at that convenience store. Is it fate? It's been 5 days since that meetup, and then she's in this situation where Seiji is back in front of her. Instead of a worried boyfriend, he looks like he's gonna hit her anytime. This manipulative person acted like he had been looking for her for days, saying that he was worried about her. Hayashi instinctively felt sorry, which disgusted her. Afterwards, Seiji told her to come home, but seeing Hayashi's face, she was hesitant, so he reminded her that she had nowhere else to go. The home he's referring to is full of pain and abuse, and she doesn't want to go back to that life again. However, she got nothing left in her, she doesn't have a choice, she has no worth. But that's just the manipulation that Seiji planted on her. In fact, the words from MC echoed in her mind. His words gave value to someone like her, especially acknowledging the pain that she's been through. In that moment, all she wants is to get back to MC, but she's scared that he might not help her again after she pushed him away. Still, Hayashi thinks that if MC were to see her in that situation, he'd probably ask, "What do you want to do?" That's when she got the courage to stand up for herself. Hayashi laughed before she firmly told Seiji that she was not going back to him. She doesn't want to get the police involved, so he had better disappear from her sight. Seiji was confused, and Hayashi snapped. She yelled at him while Seiji simply apologized for hitting her sometimes. That made her blood boil even more because does hitting her every day count as sometimes to him? Then Seiji said that Hayashi isn't completely innocent either because she never understood anything he said, and that got him irritated as if saying that Hayashi deserved to be beaten up. Hayashi said that she did everything to meet his demands and that she was even willing to drop out of college just to be a housewife. However, Seiji thinks that she's bad at it, especially the agony he had to go through with her cooking. This narcissist dude thinks that because he ripped Hayashi from everything that she is, from money to her degree, she would have no choice but to get back to him. That was the moment Hayashi realized how trash of a person he is, knowing how disposable she is to him. However, he held onto her arm and dragged her despite her plea to let go. Fear and anguish enveloped Hayashi, but just then MC arrived and pushed Seiji's arm away. "She clearly doesn't want to go with you," the knight in shining armor said as he protected the damsel in distress. Hayashi felt really relieved seeing MC in front of her, defending her from her abuser. Seiji was surprised at first, but the moment MC pointed out the force dragging and all, Seiji's behavior changed and his tone lowered. He was trying to convince MC that they're a couple, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Seeing Hayashi not happy seeing him, he made up lies saying she gets hysterical, while Hayashi kept her silence. MC didn't give up and left. He stayed and was spitting facts about how things between them are concerning. Seiji kept a low profile, saying that it was just a lover's quarrel. MC kept on pushing his buttons until Seiji was slowly pissed off. "Can't outsiders mind their own business?" Seiji said. With that, MC agreed, but for it to be resolved, they need to get the police involved. Seiji doesn't like the sound of it, saying that it's no use. However, their screaming and yelling gathered attention from their quiet neighbors until a flock of people was watching the argument. If police had gotten involved, Seiji would have been humiliated. But he dragged it on and said that police were not needed. That is, unless he has reasons he can't go to the police. Now MC used his ace card and pointed out the bruises on Hayashi's body. Although it's a little embarrassing to be seen by strangers, it has to be done. Many agreed to call the police while Seiji kept spitting lies after lies, until he snapped out of his true colors and said that they're a couple who love each other, and that is none of MC's business. But beating your partner doesn't count as love, because if he does, he should have filed a missing person report if he actually cares. Even MC was getting pissed at this narcissist, and that small thing touched Hayashi's heart, appreciating the only person who stood up for her. As things slightly calmed, Seiji once again apologized and bowed his head, looking regretful for his actions. Hayashi was about to give in again, but something in her shifted. She made up her mind not to go back to her. Of course Seiji begged, yet Hayashi had already made up her mind, especially when she saw the red mark on his neck. It was a sign not to go back, and with that she herself threw away the garbage man. The night after the chaos was a slow, silent morning. MC slept on the futon even though his bed is now vacant. He started off by cleaning the floors, but instead of enjoying it, something felt missing for him. Was this room always this spacious? He has gotten so used to living with her that his apartment feels empty. After cleaning, he watched TV while wondering when she was coming back. Yeah, he wants her back. Later that day, around 12, Hayashi finally got back. Her face doesn't seem happy, which made MC worried and asked if something had happened again. Last night, cops arrived, and Seiji fled the scene when he heard the sirens. MC wanted to accompany Hayashi to the police station, but the cops sent him home. After that, he doesn't know what happened. Since she kept her lips shut, MC suggested taking a shower to help her clear her mind. Hayashi followed, so MC cooked them food while she prepared. It seems like she doesn't want to talk about it, so there's no point in forcing it out. The moment she got out, Hayashi looked like a different person. She showed her real self to MC, which made him blush. To her, it feels like it's the right thing to do, as if she's obligated to offer him the thing that's real for helping her out. But MC refused. He rejected the offer and said that he doesn't want to be like her ex. And that alone gave MC the crown for being the best MC in all my 800+ rom-com manga I have covered in my career. Hayashi fell into tears, not because she was rejected, but because MC has stayed kind to her despite how unhinged she acts sometimes. MC can't even believe that she's seriously crying because of that. I mean, it's how normal human functions, right? Even though he's generic, this dude is still a Chad for being himself. Hayashi broke down on the kitchen floor while MC was looking straight at her eyes and nowhere else. He was patient and let her cry before he suggested getting dressed after she calmed down. He heard her sneeze, so that's a cue to give her the hottest food because it's getting cold lately. After getting into her clothes, Hayashi asked if it was okay for her to stay in the apartment. He then asked, "What do you want, Hayashi?" Suddenly she yelled at his answer for being stupid because she felt like she had no right to decide for it. Besides, it's his place, not hers. She thinks it's pointless to ask her about what she wants because it should be his decision from the start. MC sighed out of mental exhaustion before giving Hayashi another, "Are we going through this again?" face. He reminded her that they'd already talked about this a long time ago, and he's her ally, which means letting her stay there or lending her money isn't a big deal anymore. That's why he asked her if she wanted to stay or not. Basically, he just wants her to stand up for herself. It seems like Hayashi is just going through another episode, which is why she's questioning everything again. However, the real reason is that she's scared something might happen to MC now that her ex saw his face already. He might come after him instead of her next time. So hiding her away in his apartment might lead him to danger, and they can't have that. She asked the reason why he's keeping someone like her, who only brings a burden and hassle. So MC gave her an answer. Since he can help her with something he can do and it's within his power, he'll help with just about anything. But that's not the only reason. He smiled and said that he just want to eat her hamburger steak again. And so Hayashi calmed and asked if she would cook him a hamburger steak. He'll do anything. MC agreed, and they finally got on the same boat. However, Hayashi has two requests. She took up her courage before saying that she wants to stay there again, but that's already been dealt with. The other one is for her to file a police report. She knows she can do it alone, but she's scared that in the last minute she might back out. Hayashi doesn't want to lose anything, which is why she pleaded with him to go to the police station with her. Seeing and hearing those strong words from the victim filled MC with relief and pride. That's all he wanted, for her to take a step for herself and not rely on other people to deal with her problem. MC agreed, because that's what he wanted in the first place. With that, a small bond was born between two people who are neither friends nor lovers. But can you believe that? Manga characters actually using logic in the police? Crazy peak work? Days have passed, and this night, MC got the night shift. He was yawning a lot because he was sleepy from a hectic day. But thanks to that, there's one less thing to worry about. That afternoon, MC and Hayashi went to the police station and filed the report because the night of the incident, her ex went AFK. That night, Hayashi apparently went back to her ex's house with the police, but the place was completely deserted and no sign of him planning to return. Who knows where this dude disappeared to, which makes it worrisome for MC because how long before Hayashi can finally feel safe? He was deep in thought, which surprised him to see a customer. He checked the surveillance only to see Hayashi out late at night. She was happy and hyped to see him, but he was more surprised to see her there. She said that she went out to get toothpaste because they ran out of it. MC replied that she could have let him know so he could grab it, but Hayashi doesn't have a phone to contact him or even know his number. That was a sign for them to get her a new phone so she could contact her friends and family again. But it's not like she got anyone that important to call. Besides, her friends weren't exactly the most reliable bunch. That got MC's attention, which means Kasahara might not be an ally to begin with. However, MC didn't say anything about it for now. They later shrugged that topic off and MC changed it. He reminded her that it's dangerous for her to be walking around that late because who knows where that psycho ex could be. Hayashi doesn't want to think like it because she's optimistic that way. Besides, there are not many customers there. It's like that especially at midnight. What do you expect? So, since there's not much to do, Hayashi was willing to keep him company. MC was rude enough to hard pass it and told her to go home and sleep, because staying up is bad for her skin. He then took some cash from his wallet to pay for the toothpaste. Hayashi tried to convince her that she could pay it, but MC insisted since he uses it too. There was a small silence after that small subtopic conversation before MC broke it by asking if she wasn't heading home. However, she was actually serious when she said she'll keep him in company. For that, she pretended to interview MC and ask him questions. "How long have you worked here?" Hayashi said. MC felt weird being interrogated but answered her question regardless. She then asked how often he visits his parents, and even though it's not a relevant question, he had to answer it. There were more questions about clubs, other jobs, hobbies, special skills, which is, you guessed it, cleaning. This dude is a total neat freak that might be a symptom of OCD or autism, but he's too normal for that. Hayashi then said that she meant it when she said she wished she had talked to him more in high school. But her glares and looks down were the highlights for MC. There's no point in thinking about that now, but for Hayashi, there's stuff you only realize after regret and reflection. So she wanted to know more about MC. That was surprisingly a stomach turner for MC, as he was blushing. Then sakura petals were everywhere in his heart, probably. MC sees himself as an uninteresting, generic guy, especially to someone like her. His life is probably just mid. Hayashi couldn't help it if she got most of her teenage life. But yeah, if that's how it is, then fine. He'll cooperate. Even though it's a little awkward, MC had to put up with her thing and let her curiosity explore. For that, she wanted to know what it is like to live with her. MC replied right off the bat that she's headache-inducing. He goes out of his way to hide her. She runs off alone, she snaps at everything, doesn't listen, storms off. But well, aside from those, it wasn't all bad. This guy struggles with saying nice things. Then she asked him what he want to eat for dinner. Everything works as long as she's cooking though. That's how much he loves her cooking. This small moment with her made MC feel many emotions towards her. If high school him had heard about this, he would have laughed it off as impossible. But things change, and living with the arrogant girl from high school isn't as bad as he expected it to be. More mornings have passed, and in this particular one, MC was scrubbing the bathroom faucet like crazy. He knew where the dirt builds up the most, and in this case, it's in the base. The more he scrubs it with his toothbrush, the more the dirt is coming off, and he gets weird pleasure from it as a clean freak. However, an angry woman was rumbling behind him because this dude had been cleaning for 3 hours. He went to clean the bathroom at 10 a.m. and it's already 1 p.m. and he looks like he has no plan to stop soon. So you get that I'm mad? Hayashi said, to which MC casually agreed. She asked him why she's angry, but this dense single MC just pointed out that she sounds angry. However, that's not what she meant, clearly. To save his dense brain from a waste of time, she pointed out that their lunch had gone cold, all thanks to his hyperfixation on dirt. She called him over at noon, but what he replied was, "I'll be right there." And it's been an hour since she called him, which means she's been waiting for an hour. If he were to wait an hour for lunch, he'd be mad too, so her anger was valid and MC gets it. That realization was like a missing chess piece for him. Because of that, Hayashi limited his cleaning hours to 1 hour a day. That sounds like shocking news for him. It's not like it's a bad thing, but since it's getting out of hand, Hayashi can't let him go for hours of cleaning without eating. If he cleans for more than an hour tomorrow, she'll be mad. MC acted like he was about to cut off an addiction, but seeing Hayashi's innocent, scary stare, he has no choice but to comply. "Good boy," said she. Even though that happened, he still thinks that living with her isn't bad. After the meal, they were both lounging in the room with MC watching TV and Hayashi watching videos on the tablet. She's still watching those Deha Man videos, which made MC think she relates, but it seems like she just likes those good versus evil stories. Hayashi was laughing at the tablet when she suddenly dropped it on her face, a canon event for everyone. She was wiggling from the pain that suddenly showed what she didn't mean to show, but let's face it, she is a fine lady. MC had to calm himself down before checking in on Hayashi. After a few days together, this particular one was the date they decided Hayashi should get a new phone. They were browsing for what phone to get because the one Hayashi used to own no longer sells. MC figured out that it must be the one she used in high school, which is likely no longer in the market, but after a few weeks of searching and trying, Hayashi decided to choose one. MC was about to offer to pay for it, but Hayashi said she'll buy it herself using the money left from the part-time jobs she used to do. MC didn't force her after that, giving her healthy boundaries and decisions that wouldn't make her feel like she's being forced. After the contract, they then walked back home with Hayashi being happy she finally got her own phone. She thanked MC for it, which made him confused because he didn't even do anything, but she was just thankful he kept her company. While they were walking on the sidewalk, MC kept glancing left and right so that he looked like a creep now. You can't blame a protective guy for his girl being away from that maniac. It would be bad to see them together after he pretended to be a bystander that night, so he'd definitely get the wrong idea. Hayashi just shrugged it off and assured that if something were to happen, she'd scream at the top of her lungs. In a way, he wouldn't mind it becoming a police matter. Soon after, they finally got home, and Hayashi was checking out her new phone, trying to figure out how it works. MC warned Hayashi that the OS, or operating system of the phone, is different from back then, so it might feel weird for her at first. However, Hayashi doesn't seem to get it anyway. She admits that she's bad at tech stuff, which was surprising seeing how well she uses the tablet. MC then pointed out the app's functions and which button to press. Basically, Hayashi learned that she just has to know the button shapes. MC was low-key judging her for that, because even us seniors understand what apps are, so this girl is hopeless. However, Hayashi asks to show her how to connect to the next and stuff. She even pronounced the Wi-Fi wrong, but shrugged it off. Then Hayashi asked how she's going to get her friend's contacts. MC then gave her a decent answer by saying that she needs to use the cloud backup. Hayashi is a lost cause because she got confused about why they're talking about clouds now. That triggered her queen personality because she doesn't like having fun. So MC became a good boy and cooperated. He asked her what she did the last time she changed phones. Hayashi explained that it was Akari who did it, from the passwords and to all of her accounts. MC wasn't expecting they were that kind of close that it low-key got dark. Since she had no memories of her previous phone, MC had to do it for her and set up her new phone. The first thing she asked was about her contacts, but that's gonna be hard. Suddenly MC asked Hayashi how she and her ex met. It triggered Hayashi for a little bit, but since MC asked nicely, she answered that it was from a friend in college who invited her to a group date. Hearing her answer, it was clear that none of her high school or old friends were connected to him. MC was slightly relieved, and it was actually clever that he didn't disclose the conversation he had with Akari. Afterwards, he asked for her phone so he could put the contact info of her friends that he remembered, so she could ask them to recover the rest of her contacts. Hayashi was slightly uncomfortable about it though, because she doesn't want to explain how her ex-boyfriend broke her phone so she can send the other's number. So MC just input Akari's number, thinking it should be safe. But the moment she saw her name, she glared over him, fuming with an intense aura as if MC was cheating on her when there was no label with him yet.